What is up, guys? It's Hunter MF. Today I'm going to show you guys how to cut and turn D35 or D44, probably D50 as well, TTB I-beams, twin traction beams. These ones specifically are for a Ford Ranger D35. I've already finished the cut and turn on the passenger beam. I'm now starting on the driver beam, so I'll show you what to do from here. So the next thing I like to do is I like to just make my mark for where I'm going to be cutting this lower ball joint out. And I like to measure from the center of the ball joint hole to the center of the radius arm hole. In this case, it is 6.5 inches on this D35 beam. I'm going to be pulling this side out 3/4 of an inch. And I pulled that side out 7/8 of an inch to account for 4 inches of lift. So now I'm going to get a scribe line cut and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so this is basically all I mean by a scribe line. I just cut out like a little line where I'm going to be cutting so that I can kind of just set my wheel in there and just get to cutting instead of like having to start cutting precisely from the beginning. You don't have to do that, it's just something I do. So after I get my scribe line cut, I like to take my Sawzall, that's mainly why I use a scribe line, to go through my scribe line because you can't really get the 4.5-inch wheel as deep as this needs to go safely. And I've been fucked up by some cutoff wheels, so I like to be a little safe over sorry. So once you got it cut for the most part, you can either probably beat it out or try to do this one-handed. It's not that easy. Just keep, there's some material in there that you usually can't get, but boom, that's what it'll look like when you cut and turn your ball joint. It'll slide right out. So after you get the ball joint cut, you're going to want to pull it out 3/4 of an inch, tack it in place, keep the same angle, and it'll be good to go. So now you could you'll basically be able to burn these two in, make a fill plate for right here, and then make an overlay plate, and then do the inside. All right, so after you got it cut and tacked into place at 3/4 of an inch, if that is what you were doing, you're going to want to burn it in real fast, just burn in both sides like this, and then you're going to move on to making your fill plate. So basically, my plate is going to land, let me grab something real quick to point. My plate is going to land along this edge right here and then tie over into here more. And then I'll make a overlay plate that'll tie from here over to the edge of that plate as well so that it's nice and strong. And then move on to the inside. All right, this is my plate, my fill plate. Might not be able to see it, I got the garage closed because it's a little windy. All I did to make this basically was measure here to here, it's 2.5. I went here, I made it about just a 16 smaller, just so I have a little gap in here to be able to fill. And then this line right here indicates a break in the center because obviously it's gonna need to kick down a little bit to bend. Yeah, so that would be the fill plate. We'll get that going. All right, so I got my plate tacked in, got the clamp holding it down in a spot where it had a little gap, still has a little gap. I'm gonna have to do some hammer finessing in there. That shouldn't be no big deal. I'll get this welded up and get back to you. Alrighty, so after you got this all burned in, a lot of guys will just close up the inside and run it like this if they're not gonna really be jumping the truck or really beating on the truck hard if they're just trying to lift the truck. But I'm gonna make an overlay plate basically from where the knuckle sits right here down to this point. And then so just some little gussets right here on the side as well from where it got pulled out. So similar to that and that. That should be plenty strong. Should be able to jump the truck and not have to worry about that beam in. Up here where they were extended, shouldn't have no worries either. 1/4-inch plate on this side, 1/8 inch overlay on this side, 1/8 inch gussets, 1/4-inch material to extend it with. There's gussets in here. Only part I'd be really worried about is down here towards the beam end now. But I'm not going to be plating that section. Alright, so after I do my little overlay, I come up top and I try to weld in as much as I can on the inside before I make my plate that goes in here as well. So yeah, just on the sides, there's like little holes right there. I just fill them with weld and then yeah, make a little plate that's gonna tie in right here. Try to clean this as good as you can, obviously. Choose a wire wheel or an assortment of wire wheels. And should be good to go. All right, I got my plate welded in. I had a little bit of fitment issue there and there, but it's all right. We got it handled. After you do this, that's basically all you really need to do to cut and turn TTB beams. All right, last step after you do your little plate. I like to put these little just triangle pieces right here, little 90-degree pieces, because you are pulling the ball joint out. You know, on this side 3/4 of an inch, on that side 7/8 of an inch. So I like to just make a little tie-in play for right here. After that, your TTB beams are cut and turned. There's really not much to it. Tag me in your beams if you watch this video and it helps at Hunter_MF_. I'm no fancy badass fabricator. I'm just some dude in his garage getting it. Here's my personal build.